Hello everyone, welcome back again. So, in the continuation of our Indian literature series, today we are going to learn about Kamala Das biography. This is the part second, and if you haven't checked the first part yet, please go and watch it. So, let's begin. So, the very first important key facts regarding Kamala Das is that she was noted for her many Malayalam short stories as well as many poems written in English. Right, as you know very well that she has written her language of writing has two language, that is English and another one is Malayalam. So she had written various kind of short stories in Malayalam as well as basically we can say that she is quite famous for writing poetry in English, right? If we talk about the English language, so she is quite famous for writing her poems, right? So we can call that she was the master of writing short stories in Malayalam language as well as the poems in the language of English, right? And in the second point, like here in your screen you can see that Das was means Kamala Das was also a syndicated columnist, right? She was a renowned columnist. वो बहुत ज़्यादा renowned columnist थी, वो लिखती थी, columns लिखती थी. Let's see. She once claimed that poetry does not sell in this country, India, but her forthright columns, which sounded off on everything from women's issues and child care to politics, were popular. So this question may be asked in this way, that who claimed that poetry does not sell in this country, India, right? So this line, this renowned phrase has been given by her, has been claimed by her. So the answer will be Kamala Das, right? She was very much famous for writing, for dragging out the some kind of bold issues, feminist issues. She displayed the women's plight with her poems, right? Women's how the people, how the conservative people, we can say that how harass they do for the women, how partial they are women with, right? So she, we can say in a simple manner, we can say that she highlighted the plight of women, right, in her own unique way. And that unique way has a quietness, or a quietness of boldness, right? She was very bold with her words, with her phrases. She was too much direct that it just pricks your heart, right? It really pricks the heart of the conservative man in the society. She was so direct in her language. She was so clear. If she was even she talk about some kind of taboo topics like the harassment, like the female sex ratio, even various kinds of things, she handled very much boldly. So you can chiefly find the women's issues and also the child care to politics in in her columns, right? And the second important key fact is she wrote chiefly of love, its betrayal and the consequent anguish. So we can also call this that the chief element of his poetry is all about love, right? She always wanted to be loved spiritually, but unfortunately she received the love which is totally physical in nature. Means she is always lack of having the spiritual connection, the spiritual, the soul to soul connection. She commented harshly over the men that they are always eager to have the physical relationship, they are not into the part of the spiritual ones, right? So she famously write about the love, its betrayal and the consequent anguish, the problems of love, right? The problems of the physical love, the greed of the sex of the man, right? Shows she touched all the topics in a very bold manners. If you go through the Kamala Das poetry, you can just prick out the words, and you can imagine that in that earlier times she was the only female writer from our country, India, that she has written so much boldly in her poems, right? That is why she was criticized, she was harshly criticized by everyone, because nobody can think at that time that a lady, means a woman writer, is writing and using these kinds of words in her poetry and publishing it, right? So various people, even the male fraternity, just criticized her, but she stood boldly on her way, right? So the third key fact about Kamala Das is, at the age of 42, she published a daring autobiography, right? And the name of her daring autobiography is My Story. It was originally written in Malayalam, and the title name of Malayalam is Ente Katha, right? And later she translated it into English. So from this key fact, you got to know two questions regarding Kamala Das, that the name of her autobiography is My Story, that is written in English, and it was originally written in Malayalam language, and the title of the Malayalam language was Ente Katha, right? Later on, she translated her story, her autobiography into English with the name My Story. And one another thing is that we are calling it her daring autobiography, right? So if you are giving the title of daring autobiography, so you can imagine that she unfolded the very bold facts in her autobiography. She revealed the male fraternity, the men's in her life, how exclusively the men harassed her life, how, what kind of physical dauntment she faced in her life. So she touched every aspect, every bold aspect of her life in her autobiography. That is why we are calling it as the daring autobiography, right? So these are the important key facts about Kamala Das. I hope it is clear to each and everyone. So that's all for today's video. In the continuation of Kamala Das series, in the next video we are going to discuss about her notable awards, the notable awards she received, as well as the, we will discuss in a very shallow way of Kamala Das works, right? In the continuation of next videos of Kamala Das, right? So that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for your listening.